Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Full Court MACtion. For the next half hour, we'll take a look at the players, coaches, and teams making news in Mid-American Conference basketball. The Kent State women are trying to go back-to-back as MAC tournament champions. Four-time All-MAC performer Katie Shoemate graduated, but the cupboard is far from bare at Kent State. Todd Starkey and his Golden Flashes are off to an 8-2 start in Mid-American Conference play and are again in the hunt to be where they want to be in March, which is back in the NCAA tournament.
Grab your dancing shoes, Flashes fans! It's been 22 years too long! Kent State women's basketball is going to the NCAA for the first time since 2002!
I know everybody talks about there being a target on our back now, but I think for me, it's really getting them refocused on the feeling that they had and wanting that again. Can you stay hungry enough to do it again?
We know that, we're pushing for something this year that's totally separate from what happened last year. So obviously, having that experience and knowing what that was like is a good thing to have in the back of your mind, but we know that this year is completely different and we're chasing something new.
Deep three, Katie Shoemate, you know it!
There's a lot of people out there who think that we're in a rebuild. Like at the beginning of the year, they lost Katie Shoemate and they lost so many seniors and talent, and so it's kind of motivating, and we know that we have a target on our back.
Jenna Batch open from the right corner. Three ball right down the middle. What a response there. Jenna Batch, and Buffalo's just leaving players open, and Batch steals the ball in the front court. Batch all the way to the rim. Scoops with the right, it's home.
Jenna's growth was different, right? So just 1.5 points her freshman year and 3 points her sophomore year. Learning from Katie, working hard, extra work. The stuff that she's done is she's really earned all of that. And to have the breakout last year and then how she's playing now, it's just been tremendous to watch. A lot of credit to my assistant coaching staff for really spending a lot of time in film and development.
I think it all starts with the girls in the locker room, and it's hard to get a group of 18 to 21-year-old women that don't have drama.
We're just a special group. We really are. We know each other really well on the court, how to play, how to work together. We play for each other 100%.
And driving in and putting it up, missing the shot with Brown, and getting the rebound is Janae Tyler for Kent State. Ahead to Jenna Batch, her first touch. She'll put up a 12-footer, it's good.
Starkey always says to us that rebounding is a mindset. It's just, whoever comes up with the ball. So I think for us, it's just kind of, box out and go get it. It doesn't matter how you get it. Yeah, we don't do any rebounding drills, but it's something that we just know we have to do.
The best rebounders treat every shot like a miss. I don't think we've ever had the best rebounder in the league, so Bridget has a chance to do that for us, which is great.
By Martinez Lopez, popping Dunn, left wing three. There it is from deep. Bridget Dunn up to 17 points, another triple for the senior out of Carmel, Indiana.
Sorry to most of the other teams that I've coached in my career, but this team has just been one of my favorites. It's a great group of young women. Their parents did a phenomenal job raising them. They look out for each other, they care about each other. They're very talented, but they're also fun to coach, fun to be around, and when they're not here, I miss them.
Gray turns around, gets an edge, center of the lane, kick out Hildebrand left wing three, drills it. An 11-0 run for the Flashes, 27-17, Flashes by 10.
I still think we have room for improvement, and that, to be honest with you, that's a great thing at this point, to be playing good enough basketball to be winning conference games, but still know that your best basketball is still ahead of you. The other part of that is, I think if you asked all of our players, they would agree with that. They know that their best basketball is ahead of them, that we have not still put a complete game together and played our best on both sides of the ball. So I think we're in a good spot. Now we have to really be focused on and hungry on executing that moving forward.
Kent State fans are getting used to hearing that bell after games. Crucial part of college basketball's communication. The best teams really know their fellow teammates. Bowling Green senior Lexi Fleming takes this to the next level, going 94 feet with Falcon freshman Nay Donahue. It's this week's Campus Report.
We're doing 94 feet and I'm with Nene. What are your favorite shoes to hoop in right now?
My reverse Kobe Grinches.
What song is on repeat for you?
Consultations.
Who is your basketball GOAT?
I'd say Steph Curry.
Basketball ick?
Double knee pads.
Why do you have your number as 3?
It's my mom's favorite number.
What teammate would you switch closets with?
Amy Velasco.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Which movie is your favorite?
I'm just gonna say Love and Basketball.
Okay, what is one word to describe Coach Fred? Crazy.
Time for us to take a quick time out on Full Court MACtion, but when we come back, we speak with Central Michigan men's head coach Tony Barbie about his team in Mount Pleasant. Full Court MACtion. We'll be right back. We continue talking Mid-American Conference basketball here on Full Court MACtion. Time to turn our attention to the men's side of things, and we welcome in head coach of the Central Michigan Chippewas, Tony Barbie. Coach, Chippewas scored 90 points their last game, and you got Oogie back. We're not even going to try to say his name. We're going with Oogie. He missed about 2 weeks. Double-double in his return, 21 points, 12 rebounds. What's it mean for the Chips to get him back in the lineup?
Well, there's not many teams in the MAC that have a player like Oogie. I mean, with his size, skill, and athleticism, at 7 foot, 255, 260 pounds, to be able to move the way he's able to move and have the skill to be able to play like a guard on the perimeter, shoot the three, put it on the floor, and then the skill, toughness, and footwork near that basket, he makes the game easy on the rest of his for the rest of his teammates, and because he draws so much attention. It's why we score 90 points, because if you try to play him one-on-one, he's going to score or make you foul him. And then when you have to either crowd him or double, he's so skilled, he's got great vision, he's a great passer. Now all of a sudden you've got a bunch of guys who can knock down threes or attack closeouts, and he does that for us. And there's we're a different team when we have him. We missed him the previous 3 games when he's coming trying to work his way back from his injury, and it's just it's neat when you have him out there, because we're a better team. We're not even a complete team because we have so many other guys out for the season with dealing with injury issues. But obviously, he's a big factor in what we're trying to accomplish in the MAC this year.
Another guy who's been really good, Anthony Pritchard, Defensive Player of the Year last year, second in the MAC, just over 2 steals per game. How does he impact what you guys want to do and the style that you want to play?
Being a great defensive team starts at the point of attack with your lead guard. If you can't pressure the ball, whether it's full court, half court, disrupt the other team's offense, which starts at the point guard position, then your defense is not going to be very good. And it's why we've kind of had the turnaround starting last year when we were able to get Anthony here at Central, and then get him to come back this year. When you look at the defensive statistics in the MAC, we've got a really good defensive team, but it starts with him. If you don't have the point of attack defender that can disrupt the other team's offense by pressuring the point guard, and whether he's getting steals or deflections, he creates a lot of issues for the other team with his defensive intensity and toughness. So the other team's got a game plan for him defensively because of what he does, and it's been fun to coach a point guard at that level, because in college basketball, I'm a big believer that you win with guard play. And Anthony's been one of the best point guards, not just in the MAC, but in the country the last couple of years.
A great atmosphere, 4 games. Different theme nights. We saw some of the toilet paper tosses in a feature that we did on the show a few weeks ago. Next game is Minions Night. How does it kind of help create that atmosphere and for the team to know fan base is going to come out and have some fun?
Yeah, the crowds have been growing year over year. They've appreciated the style of play, the tenacity, and the hunger. This is a blue collar town, and my team is a blue collar team. So my team, the community of Mount Pleasant, gravitates to that. Obviously, the highlight of the year is the toilet paper thing, bringing back the tradition from decades ago that Central had to shelve because of the different technical fouls and fines they were accruing just because of the disruption to the game. And so when I got to Central 4 years ago, I went to our administration and we worked together collaboratively to bring back that tradition for at least one game a year, the Western Michigan game, which obviously is a huge rival for both schools. And but my whole thing is if it's toilet paper that's going to bring out a sold-out crowd and that atmosphere that gives you a significant home court advantage, then let's shelve the Minions, let's shelve the Croc Night that we had, let's shelve all that, and let's do toilet paper for 15, 16, 17 home games a year. and I'll buy the toilet paper if it's a financing issue, if it brings out that type of crowd, because when you have the atmosphere that we have had against the Western Michigan, for the Western Michigan game for the last 3 seasons, it's a 10 to 15, 20 point advantage before the first jump ball is ever thrown up. So we got Minion Nights coming up. We'll see what kind of factor that plays. And as you know, at the end of the day, whether at any college pro atmosphere, people are coming to an event nowadays. They're not coming strictly for a sporting event. They want to be entertained. Like I said, if the toilet paper brings them out like it brings them out for Western, let's do that for 15, 16, 17 home games a year.
Coach Barbie, appreciate the time. Best of luck to the Chippewas throughout the Mid-American Conference season. Thanks very much.
All right, thanks for having me on.
On the men's road to Cleveland standings, the Zips from Akron, a perfect 9-0 with Miami close behind at 8-1. Toledo's in third place at 7-2. Ohio is 5-4. Then there is a logjam of 5 teams at 4-5 as we are just over the halfway point of Mid-American Conference play. The men's game of the week involves one of those 4 and 5 teams who we just spoke to their head coach, the Chippewas from Central Michigan, host the Redhawks on Tuesday. Central Michigan has 4 players averaging double figures in scoring. Miami is back to their winning ways after falling to Akron. Pete Sudar, Cam Kraft continue to lead the way for the Redhawks offense. Time for a quick timeout. When we return, we'll hear from first-year head coach for the Toledo women's program, Ginny Bogus, back after this timeout. Full court MACtion continues as we talk to some of the most important players and coaches in the Mid-American Conference. Let's welcome in first-year head coach Ginny Bogus from the University of Toledo. Ginny, you replaced a legend in Trish Culp, who had been in charge of the Rockets for a number of years, won a bunch of Conference Coach of the Year awards in a row. What drew you to Toledo?
I mean, you just said it, right? The tradition of excellence here on and off the court. And these women are exceptional, not just, on the field of play, but in every area of their life. And so, I think the biggest thing for me was choosing a place where women's basketball is really, really important. And in the city of Toledo and at the University of Toledo, women's basketball is a very important thing. And I'm just happy to be the leader, very, very proud to take over such a strong program. I think the thing that drew Toledo to me was that Tricia and I have the same core values of integrity and hard work and excellence. And so hopefully it's been a pretty seamless transition.
Off to a really good start, 7-3 in conference, 15-5 overall. We were talking a little bit beforehand, and you mentioned about a note that Tricia left you on the desk. Tell us what that said.
Yeah, very presidential of her, right? To just, not knowing who was going to take over for her. She had already vacated the office and headed down to Miami. But I think it just speaks to who she is and how much she loves this place and her time here. She wants Toledo to be successful. She wanted the next leader to know that they had her fullest support and what a special place this truly is and how much she loved her time here. And so it was just kind of a love letter to Toledo and a good luck to the next coach. And I'll treasure that. I'll treasure that always.
I mentioned 7-3 in conference, 15-5 overall. Program has had back-to-back MAC Players of the Year and Quenisha Lockett and Sophia Wired. Now a girl who she was part of those really good programs, Sammy McConowitz, is kind of evolved. What have you seen from her as she stepped into a new role for the Rockets?
Yeah, Sammy is just a relentless worker. She brings a competitive edge to her every single day. She's one of those 1% players, and in my opinion, that over these 23 years that I've coached, she's an elite level mindset of I want to do it right every time to the best of my ability. And when you have, one of your best players who is also your hardest worker, it absolutely sets the tone every day. She doesn't have a lot of patience or tolerance for average or mediocre reps. And so, even though she isn't extremely vocal, she sets the tone for us every day by the way that she shows up.
Well, a player who's been with the program for a number of years you're familiar with, Nan Garcia, was at Penn State. What has she meant, and what have you seen from her as she's evolved from the time you had her at Penn State?
Well, Nan's always had a very high basketball IQ. She's a 3-level scorer. And I think the thing that maybe wasn't shown to this Toledo fan base as much because of who she was surrounded by is her vision and her passing ability. She's really in the last 6 or 8 games for us taken the charge there. I think she had 5 assists in one game, 6 assists in another game. And so she's kind of quarterbacking our offense a little bit from that pinch post. But I've just seen an incredible maturity in Nan, an increased level of consistency. She's always been competitive. She's always shown up every day as a warrior and as a winner. But you can feel this urgency about her right now. With these seniors, with this last 10 or so games and the regular season left, you can feel her urgency and you can feel that contagiousness about her competitiveness, which has been really, really fun.
All right, up next is Buffalo, another team that's off to a great start. When you look at that, what is playing a team that's playing as well as you are at this time of year? What's it tell you, and how do you gauge? Does it help you gauge what you need to work on?
Absolutely. And we're always going to prepare for that opponent, but we're also very mindful that we need to be our best Toledo. And in order to do that, we need to prepare for what we think they're going to throw at us. She's an incredible coach. She's had so much success for a reason. I have a little bit of familiarity. We played them last year in the WNIT when I was a head coach at Monmouth. And so I know it's going to be a battle. They're elite in transition. They're doing it at all 3 levels. They share the ball extremely well. They got that big but their supporting cast is very, very good. They're aggressive on defense. They're going to make you earn every single bucket. So this is going to be a fun road game for us. We've been really good at home, and we've kind of been a little bit up and down on the road. So I'm excited to see how we respond to this challenge.
Coach Boggess, appreciate the time. Best of luck to the Rockets moving forward. Looking forward to see how this Mid-American Conference shakes out as we get to the tournament.
Thank you so much. It's a fun league. We're having a blast over here.
Time to take a look at the women's Road to Cleveland standings. Ball State continues to be a perfect 10-0 in conference play. Buffalo and Kent State 2 games back at 8-2. Rockets are 4th, and the last remaining team over 500. As we mentioned before, Coach Boggess and the Rockets travel to Buffalo for our game of the week. Sammy McConowitz of the Rockets is averaging 13 points a game, and Toledo is currently riding a 3-game winning streak. The Bulls have won 6 straight games. Chella Watson is dominating. She's averaging almost 20 points a game, nearly 5 rebounds a game. We're going to take a quick timeout. On the other side of the break, we'll go back in time to 2010 and check out the run of the Ohio Bobcats full court MACtion. We'll be right back. Full court MACtion continues this March. All eyes turn to Cleveland, Ohio for the Mid-American Conference men's and women's basketball tournament. It's the 25th year the conference will take place in Cleveland. We continue to take a look back at some of the best championship moments. Today, we spotlight the number 9 seed Ohio Bobcats from 2010. The team from Athens took Akron to overtime in our tournament time capsule.
Back 14. Now he shoots a 3 left wing, no good. Rebound long corner left. It's Chris McKnight. Shoots a 3. It's no good. Rebound tipped out long. Cooper has it. 7. Now 6. Bassett's going to seal it to the rim and a slam. 7 seconds left. And Ohio just slammed its way to the NCAA tournament.
Ohio's Armand Bassett slammed home the final points of the championship and took home the MVP of the tournament. The Bobcats entered the tournament as the 9th seed and ousted Ball State, top-seeded Kent State, Miami, and then Akron in the championship game. Then Ohio head coach John Gross won his first MAC championship. 7 years later, the Zips would bring Gross to Akron, where he's now won 3 more for a total of 4 MAC tournament championships, including last year's trophy. This Saturday, both the men's and women's Mid-American Conference teams will take on a team from the Sun Belt Conference. It's the MAC SBC Challenge. The matchups were determined by real-time net rankings and announced back in January. The MAC men and the Sun Belt women will host the second round of games this season. The first pairings took place on November 4th. The Sun Belt Conference men won 8-4 over the MAC men. The MAC women also won 8-4 over the Sun Belt women. For the men, the top MAC team, Akron, hosts South Alabama at James A. Rhodes Arena. Currently, the top team in the Sun Belt travels to Kent State. Both of those games will take place 2 p.m. on ESPN+. For the women, the top MAC team, Ball State, travels to the top SBC school, James Madison. That one starts at 2 p.m. As always, before we go, we take a look at the plays that require one more look. Plays that made us say, wow. Time for our top plays.
Now dump it down low. It's Obo trying to guard Sparks. Quick move, but a big block by Bryson Wilson. Souvenir about 5 rows
Plenty
up.
of room to shoot that three. Straight up and straight down from the freshman. Quick turn to the corner and a block. Pruitt.
No. Off of Mohammed. Kicked it to the corner for 3. Yes! What a play by the Huskies!
And not enough on that. Taken away by Destiny Robinson, and then the crossover and the pass to Fed Robinson. So Robinson to Fed Robinson. Glenn Box has seen enough.
Towards the rim. Good body control. Oh, come on! Word! The Zips bench loves it. That's a pass and a half, and that's about as strong as a finish as it gets.
That'll do it for this edition of Full Court MACtion. Join us again next week when we highlight the best in men's and women's Mid-American Conference basketball right here on Full Court MACtion. Good night, everybody.